No matter which option you chose, you're going to fill it with complementary colors. So you're either using yellow and purple, blue and orange, or red and green. The only exception to this is if you chose the sphere project, and on that I'll also allow just doing black and white because that makes it a little faster, especially if you're not confident with your coloring skills. When you do start coloring, you want to start with the lightest color first because the dark color will hide all of your whoopsies. So out of yellow and purple, the lightest color is yellow. If you had blue and orange, you probably want to start with orange. And with the red and the green, it just depends on how dark the color is. So you may have to test in a small place to figure out which one goes first. Normally it doesn't matter too much. Obviously on black and white, you're using just black. You don't have to worry about the white. And you want to start with your animal. And I find it helpful to trace first and then fill it in. And make sure you're going slow enough that your marker ink has time to run down onto your paper. What drives me absolutely bonkers is when students go really, really fast, and speeding doesn't really help you in the marker world because ink doesn't have time to run down. Then skip a line, and the next one's yellow. And then I'll skip a line, next one's yellow. Alright, as you can see, I got to the area where I drew an eye. So I made sure to trace the line, and I left the eye alone because my eye is going to be purple in the near future. And once your animal is done, well, once the yellow in the animal is done, or your light color is done, then you're going to do the light color in the background. And the background needs to be the opposite. So this is yellow, that means that is purple. This is going to be purple, so that means this stripe down here is yellow. And just go slow. Make sure you think before you color. If we do have any tragic mistakes, we might have to do some minor surgery to fix them. Just make sure you trace first, go slow with the ink. And in tiny areas or awkward areas like my ear, this part is going to be purple, so the top of the stripe is yellow. And then down here in this little awkward space, it's also yellow. So look really carefully before you fill things in. And this is a different rhinoceros because he doesn't have the eye drawn. You can see how I've got all the yellows drawn really carefully, and then all the purples are filled in. And you want to keep those lines neat. That's why you trace it first before you color it in. Now on the sphere, whatever color you choose, just like on the other animal, you want to do the light color first, and I highly recommend you do the background first, and it's going to look like a checkerboard. And I recommend on your sphere that if you're doing especially the black and white, you want to bust out your ruler again, and you can use that to trace your lines. So it'll make them stay nice and neat. And just like when you drew it, you're going to bump and jump over your circles. Ignore the circles for now and use the ruler to straighten out those marker lines as you draw them on the page. So that already gets your outline finished for you. Then you can go through and please make sure you neatly fill in the boxes, because on the sphere the most common mistake is kids rush and they do something like this and say, "I'm done." Fassarelli had very nice, neat work, and we're trying to kind of emulate that. We want it to have his style. So also go slow with the marker, fill it in, and ignore the sphere for the moment. Alright, we're going to pretend that the whole background is done. When you're ready to do the sphere, it might be helpful to outline it first with your color of choice. And trace your lines. And I would start with the biggest row, which would be the center row. So if this is black, this is white. The next one would be black. So you get your center row done, and then make the rest of the sphere match based on the center row. So it's still a checkerboard. And when you get to the outer edges, go ahead and get this done to show you. You may end up having some colors that are the same that are beside each other, like here or down here. And that's all right, because that's how it's supposed to be. So when it's done, it should look something like this.